Um, okay, maybe we can just do a couple because I just thought of completing a lot of bigger concepts like provisioners, local connections, and all these things and all. I thought of covering it, but um, okay. So now, okay, as you can see this one, right? So I'm going to create two virtual machines. Okay, so for example, I'm going to create one virtual machine only. For example, so okay, let's have kind of I am going to create two virtual machines. Okay, so two virtual machines. Terraform. If you do Terraform plan. Okay, so the Terraform plan is not showing anything. So I just the output variable is not been showing. So now first thing, what are you saying is so there is no two instances are already there. Okay, so two instances already been there. Okay, for example, if I give t3 dot micro, okay, so t3 dot micro, what will happen now to Terraform plan? Okay, if I do Terraform plan, what will happen now? Um, so it's trying to change instance type t2 dot micro to t3 dot micro is going to get changed. Okay, so now this instance is already created. Okay, now I just want to delete this instance. Okay, I just want to delete this resource and then recreate it again. How it is possible for me to do? Okay, okay, for example, I have one instance is running. Okay, so okay, now let's deploy. That's not a problem. Okay, I'm going to apply. So now it's going to be update in place. Okay, it's going to change the anything. If you can change it, then it's going to be changing the Terraform plan, right? So how it is possible for you to delete and recreate? I want to delete this instance and then recreate it instance. So anybody can give any kind of idea?
Terraform destroy and apply.
Yes, Terraform destroy we can do. Okay, so there are two options will be there. Terraform destroy. So we already seen Terraform destroy, how to destroy and everything, right? So it's going to delete it's going to replace it now. Okay, so now it's going to be replacing. Okay, now it's already done. Replacing. Uh, okay, replacing is done. Okay, what is this? Not changing. Eh? Oh, I think I just changed reverted back. Okay, so now I want to destroy. I want to destroy this one. So what are the different ways we can destroy it? Terraform. If I give Terraform destroy, what will happen?
So it will delete every resources in
Yeah,
the.
it'll delete everything, right? I want to delete only one this thing.
Okay.
How it is possible?
We need to mention the name.
Destroy target. Yeah, yes, we can do destroy and then target we can give, right? So that is one of the option. So I think it's taking a lot of time to read all the things. Okay, if I can try to destroy, it destroy everything. Okay, but I don't want to destroy everything. I want to destroy only one thing. So now what I can do, Terraform destroy hyphen target. So what is the target name? Target is going to be okay, AWS instance dot servers. AWS instance dot servers. Okay, so now I'm going to destroy hyphen target. So this is the good catch, right? I think Shravan is really you're just catching up with so what's happening every day, right? So these are all the questions they can ask you in the question interview. Okay, so if you can go and sit in the interview, they'll ask you, okay, I have only one resource. I want to delete only that resource only because that is not behaving correct. Okay, so we can just do this. And also we have already seen this behavior. Okay, so now what it's going to do is going to be destroying only one resource, right? Okay, so it's going to be destroying it can destroy only one resource. It's going to be, it will destroy. Now, okay, so I don't want to destroy. So there is one more option called tainting resources. Okay, so we call this a taint resource. Okay, so what is taint? Okay, so if you can go to the Google and if you can see the Terraform taint. What is tainting is that, so the Terraform taints informs that the particular object has become a degraded or damaged. Okay, so this Terraform replaces by making the object, okay, so something like this, right? So what is Terraform taint and then untaint and replace? So there is an option called Terraform replace. Okay, so I mean before seeing that one, we ourselves do this, right? So instead of do this one, okay, so we can also see this. We can also do apply. I'm also doing apply. Okay, I'm going to do apply, not destroy. Okay, now in the target, what I'm going to do, I'm going to hyphen replace is equal to aws.servers. So now what will happen, it is going to apply all the other resources. Okay, but it's going to only replace this particular resource. Okay, so now it's going to be applying all the other resources. If there are some options are there, okay, for example, so for example, if I'm making some changes over here, okay, so here t2.micro, instead of t2.micro, I'm making t3.micro. So it's going to apply for all the other changes, but it will only replace with this particular resource only. It never, okay, it never disturb. For example, I'm just going to replace this one. So Terraform apply, but you just replace only this one. Okay, so now it's going to be making the replaces. Okay, so it's going to be refreshing all the other states, but it's going to replace this resource. Okay, see, look, so here before that, when you do Terraform destroy even target, so what is the difference between target and then the replace? Okay, so the target will only run that particular resource ID only. Okay, but what about what happened to the Terraform replace command? So Terraform replace command, okay, will be work along with apply. Okay, so if you can give yes, right? So what happening if I can give yes, it's going to destroying. Okay, so destroying and modifying. So first server is destroying, the server one is modifying. Okay, so because we have given hyphen replace into the replace inside that this thing, that's the reason why it is just trying to replace it. Okay, so this is what called tainting resources. What is tainting resources? So what I'm telling is that if some of the instances are, I mean, there was a so this is very very important concept in terms of interview. Okay, so what is, if something called, what is Terraform taint? Okay, Terraform make sure that destroy or damaged, indicates the resources will be destroyed and then recreated during the next apply operation. Okay, so we can also give the replay cycle, Terraform taint. So taint is also another command. I think this has been deprecated, I believe. Terraform command, if I'm not wrong, Terraform command is deprecated. They use only Terraform command taint is deprecated. Let me check. Terraform taint is Terraform taint deprecated. Okay, this command is deprecated. Okay, so this command deprecated means this command is not no more used. But we used to call this one as a Terraform taint only. Okay, so let's see. Terraform taint, maybe sometimes Terraform taint also may work in the something. So, but I never tested it because it's been deprecated. Okay, Terraform hyphen help. Okay, so yeah, taint command is there to make the resources not fully functional. Mark the resources not fully functional or untainted. Remove the this thing. So what are we going to do with the taint? Is that okay? So I think we can also use the taint command. Okay, so what shall we do? The taint command. Okay, Terraform If you want to see what are the how many resources are there, okay, we can see it from here itself. Terraform state list. Okay, so we can see two states is there. Okay, if you want to use that state, so what is happening is that Terraform, okay, taint, okay, and the resource ID and this one. Okay, now we can this one. Before that, let's see Terraform plan. If there are something, if there are any plans, if there are something needs to be changed or not. Okay, your infrastructure up to date. So let's see. Let's run this command and see. So instance has been marked as tainted. Okay, but this command has been deprecated, but still it is working. Okay, so it's up to you to go and use it. So it has been marked as a tainted. What is tainted? Okay, tainted means so something has been corrupted. Okay, so this resource is somehow corrupted. Okay, so what you have to do now, because this one is corrupted, for the next time whenever you're using Terraform plan, it remembers. Okay, so it remembers the Terraform taint, and then it'll try to replace it. So, see now, because we made this as the Terraform taint, okay, so it's going to replace this particular resource. Now if we can do Terraform apply, what will happen now? See, it's gonna replace it. Okay, so this is what's called Terraform taint and untaint. What's untaint? So what's untaint? Untaint. Okay, so untaint means like you're removing the taint. Okay, so I don't want to use this taint so that I can just be, okay, and untaint it. Okay, so this is all something different. Okay, so we are just seeing only the Terraform taint and untaint command. Okay, so this is what called Terraform and taint and untaint command. Okay, so this is one thing. And next, any questions?
So as far as I understand, taint is no more using in this Terraform, right? So what is the replace the new word? The replace. The word is the replace, right?
Yeah, so taint is okay. What do you mean by taint? Taint is something like a marking.
Yes.
Okay, just it will mark. Replace, it's like currently you run with the resource. See, both are doing the same thing. Okay, so
But taint word is deprecated from the Terraform. I mean HCM, right? I mean
yes, yes, yes,
C corp limited, right?
yes,
So
yes.
what is the replace of the new word? Yeah, deprecated. So here no more we are not going to use the taint word, right? As per
Yeah,
this
yes,
meaning.
they are going to their replicated means they're still using it. Okay,
Okay.
so they're asking the recommends to use replace.
Ah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So instead
so
of taint, we are going to hereafter we are going to word of
yes, that's why first itself
replace.
I just told you about the replace command. Okay, so
Okay,
because
replace with the replace word. Okay, that's
yeah,
the
replace.
confusion.
This is the interview question they will ask you. Surely they will ask. If I would be the
Yeah.
interviewer, I will surely ask you. Okay, I will
The,
just what is
I
term?
know. I know you will ask the question definitely.
Yeah, so these are all kind of really a good kind of a questions, right? So how to replace some of the things, and what is taint, and you can also taint. So if interviewer asking, the taint is the command, but taint is deprecated. Okay, there is a replace command is there. So if you tell all this kind of a little bit of logical way, right? So interviewer will think that
Mm-hmm.
okay, you really have some real time experience, so they will think like that. All right, so this is kind of a replace and taint command, right? So we will be using it. So any questions now? No questions. Okay. Now we are going to see another small concept. Okay, so taint is over, and then we are going to see some of the output concept. So now this is the server. Okay, so this is the server. Okay, so this is one of the servers, right? So now I wanted to see. Okay, now I have two servers is created. Okay, now I have two servers is created. Okay, now if you do Terraform state list, I have I have a two two servers. Okay. Now I wanted to know the IP address of this machine, and or if you can go to this machine, if you go to the list of instances, right? So these are the real-time scenarios, right? So if you can go to instances, okay, so there are many instances are there, okay. So there is no name is not been mentioned over here, okay. Now how it is possible for you to get to know which instance is this one, which instance is this one, and which instance is this one? Can you just tell me any other way?
We can check the Terraform state file and then
Why do
project.
you, yeah, Terraform state file, we can just see the Terraform state file, okay. Yeah, so Terraform state, okay, so how do you Terraform state, yeah, we can just see this here from there, okay. So any other way?
Um,
See, it's showing here itself, okay. So it's showing, for example, Terraform plan, if you see, see here it's showing the ID of the this thing, okay. It's so simple, right? So we can get the ID of the this thing. If you can go here and I can search with ID, and it will give me the which instance is running this thing, okay. But we can get like this, but see, every time I cannot log into this instances, right? Like I cannot see this. Is there any way I can see, okay, so is there any way I can see the IP address of this machine, like public IP address of the machine? I want to see the public IP address of the machine. Is there any other way that I want to see the public IP address? Okay, so for that one, we will be using the output variable. Okay, so there is the concept called output. Okay, so for example, if I can add this one, okay, so I'm going to add all the other things, right? So now, if you can see the output, okay, output is the command, output is the this thing. So output, we are going to see some kind of a names, right? Like see, it doesn't matter. You can give some any kind of a name. Okay, so now this output, let's give some kind of logical name. Okay, so first first instance, private IP. Okay, the first instance private IP is what I have just given. Okay, now I added a output. Okay, so now if I can do Terraform plan, so I just added this, that what's the value of this one? Value will be AWS instance. Okay, it will go. Okay, so instead of putting an output here, I can just copy and paste it over here. Then it will be very easy for you. But whenever you're creating a structures, right, like Terraform structures, see all these files will be there. Now it looks like a project, right? You see, there are many files. The data is there, the local files and main output provider. There are many things there. Looks like wow, you're So we are just doing that. So this is going to be like a very big kind of project and something like that. So now, as soon as I put the output, it's showing me that so the first instance IP address is going to be 172.31.59.143 is the output of this machine is showing. Okay, so I don't know what is the, okay. Now I don't know which instance is the first instance is this one. Okay, so to FA2. Okay, so this one, and for this one I think for this one the IP address is going to be 143. Yeah. Okay, private IP address. Huh? What is this? No, it is the second. Okay, this is the second IP address. Yeah, servers. So this is this machine. Okay, so servers dot private IP. Okay, let's see the public IP also now. We'll see what is the public IP is giving. But why it is not giving? Why it is giving this IP address 172.143? Where it is coming from? Let me see.
We click the other instance.
Yeah, yeah, yes. No, there are so many instances are running actually. Like it's getting confused.
Actually, that it can creating two instances, right?
Yeah, so see 2D FA one. So I think this is the one, right one. See, First instance is going to be 0 2D FA. Okay, terminated. Hey, where is it? Why it is becoming slow? I think because of the recording session is becoming slow. Okay, anyways, right? So, no, 2D FA. This is something different. 2C something like this one. So I wanted to see what is the 2D FA machine. Let me just close all the browsers. It's getting okay. 2D FA. This machine. So the IP address is going to be. Okay, why it is showing like two IP address 143? From where it is coming from? One second. I'm just going to. This is the same. No, this is not the. This is not the ID. It is having like 771E. Yeah. Okay. This is the ID. Is it replaced or something? Okay. So what we can do is sometimes, right? So I already run it a few times. So it might be the state file might be showing some of the different things, right? So I can do Terraform refresh. So Terraform refresh is kind of a command. It's going to refresh your entire state file. Okay. Now I'm going to apply this one. So let me just see after adding this output, right? Okay. So it's not retrieving that current state of the output. Okay. So now let's do Terraform apply. Terraform apply. Okay, now I'm going to see it's going to be applying. After that you can see the private IP address of this machine. If this is the right machine, is going to give you this particular IP addresses. Okay, so now, okay, so what is the server, what is the thing? AWS instance, the server dot private IP address. Okay, so the private, okay, let's see what is this private IP address is, from where it is coming from. If you can go to instances, and before that I'll close all this. I'll close this entire. Can keep on to this one. Okay, so but it isn't pointing to some other instance, but I don't know why it is showing like this. But maybe that so it's got it's giving me some other output. Okay, so it's still having that 172.31.43. So now I'm going to destroy everything. Let's create it again, right? So Terraform destroy, because it's getting a Terraform destroy. I'm going to clean it up everything. Then I'm going to create it. But it should show, right? So it should work. So now, okay, now meanwhile it is getting destroyed. Okay, so we're going to see some of the another outputs. So now I wanted to see the output of the, okay, server, okay, public IP, public underscore IP. Okay, so how did you know that? For these things, right? If you can go for a AWS instance, okay, AWS instance, if you can go and if you can click on AWS instance for the AWS, okay, so it's going to be, see, output is going to be removing everything. I don't want each and anything. Okay, I'm going to delete both the machines. I'm going to delete it. Okay, it's still destroying. I don't want any other instances to be running here because of the state file and all this is can be corrupted because ID is not showing correctly. Okay, so how many instances are running? Is two instances are running. Okay, still destroying. So whenever I'm just doing the next run, right? Whenever I'm doing the next run, it should be giving you that destruction complete. Okay, this AWS service dot destruction is complete. Go refresh. I want to see still two more instances are terminated. I think hey, it's running in there.
Are you sure the region is correct, right?
Ah, the reach. That's what I'm also getting confused. Yes, East one only. Yeah, yes, East one. Correct. Okay. Okay. Let me delete these two instances manually. In order to avoid confusion, right? Okay. I'm going to create a instance state. Delete instances. Okay. Shutting down. Okay. So now let's go and do Terraform apply. So Terraform apply. What it will show you? It should show you. Okay. It's already exist in. Okay. Now what we need to do instead of private IP, I need to do public IP because it's not taking the same name. Okay. So now I have to do Terraform apply. Okay. Put what is that? First instance dot private IP. Private IP was already defined in TF46. 46. I think it's not saved yet. Are okay, output dot TF. Okay, I think I didn't save that output. Output file output. I need to. Array. Okay, now I saved the output. It's just see whenever I'm just copying and pasting from here, right? It's automatically I need to save all the files. Otherwise, it will give you this kind of errors. Okay, I'm going to create two machines, but both those two machines, but for the one machine, I just added. Okay, the first instance private IP and public IP. I'm just still server is creating. I wanted to see that whether these two servers are creating or not. Okay, only one machine is there right now. It's a Docker machine. Okay, now this one is pending. Okay, so I can just save name it as a um, server one or server two maybe and another machine should have been started now. I don't know why this is because of the recording. This is getting so slow. I think. Okay, anyways, let's see the output. Okay, so let's see what's going to be the output is going to be happening here. And I wanted to show you all these comments and all for you guys, but today is getting late for you. Okay, creation completes. One mission, two missions. Okay, so our server one, another mission also started. Okay, initializing. So if you can see the output of this mission should be, it should give you in some few minutes, right? It takes some time. So it's still creating. Okay, so it'll show you the output. So how do you find this kind of outputs? What kind of a values you can just add? You go to EC2 instances, right? So we are wherever there is a variables, you can also AWS instance, so wherever the AMI, you can also get what AMI is currently is using. Okay, through output. So if you want to do AMI, what you have to do? You have to go and see here saying that the output value is going to be AWS instance dot server dot AMI. If you can give AMI, then it's going to be showing you that so this particular thing is having this particular AMI for this machine. Okay, so it is creating. I think it's creating this much time because of the second machine maybe. Second machine is I have used some of the provisioner and everything, so I can cover it tomorrow. Server see, server servers is done. Servers one is still 40 seconds is elapsed. 3 minutes. Yo. Okay, let the server is been created. Um, okay. Otherwise, what you can also see, now I got some kind of a very weird things, right? Now I wanted to see the still IP addresses without running the Terraform plan. What we can do is that, okay, because first one is completed. Now Terraform outputs. If you can give Terraform outputs, it's telling that first instance private IP is going to be 172.31.61.88. Okay, so this is the IP address of the okay first instance, right? So see 61.88. Okay, so we have seen that some 172.31.61.88. Okay, so what is the public IP addresses? 54.160.250. Okay, so if you can copy and you can paste it over here, this is the public IP of this instances. So auto assign public IP. Okay, so this is the public IP of this instances. So similarly, you can add a lot of outputs. Okay, other also you can just also give it like anything many other things also we can just you want to add something like I want to try AMI. It's been attached. I want to see kind of outputs. So the AMI public IP is all. See, these are all the output. These are all the errors are coming. Oh, yeah, okay. This is public IP and instance AMI. So every time you need to be changing this one. But I never tried the AMI option. But it can just you can just add this kind of a thing. You have to do apply, right? So if you do apply, then it will take a lot of time. Okay. So but similarly, okay. So this is just an example, right? So how do you see the outputs of the particular machines? And so if you want to see kind of a the instance types, all these things you can just add it in the outputs. And outputs you can see here, right? You can also see here like what are the it can show you that what are the outputs. You can just have it. Timeouts. Now, some of the resources they'll be mentioning here. These are all the inputs. This are all the outputs. You can just do something like that. Okay. So you can also see the ID, right? So for example, I want to see the ID of this machine. Okay. So not only this one. See, AMI is showing me this one. Okay. So whenever I do Terraform plan, it's showing me the AMI. Okay. If you can apply it, this will be showing the AMI. If you can see this one first instance, the AMI should be this one. See, AMI is there. And similarly, what you can do is you can also do something like a ID of this machine. I wanted to get the ID because we were searching for which machine is having the ID. Okay, so now I wanted to see that for server one, I have to get my ID. So if you can give this one, it will give you all the information. Okay, so here I have to say the ID, right? I have to change the ID again. So now, so whenever you're saying the servers, so it will give you kind of a ID, okay, ID and IP address, private IP address, public IP address, all these things, it will be showing it to you. Okay, still destroying, but it should be working, right? So because it's taking some time. So it's just modifying. So here my ID we have seen. Okay, so this is something like kind of a outputs. Okay, outputs, and then what you have seen today, outputs and um, replace command, taint. We have seen replace and taint command we have seen. Okay, so now we will be okay. I'm going to okay. Any questions before I'm closing it because I'm going to stop recording it. See
So
now,
output is just more like just for visualizing the fine.
yes, just for
So not
visualizing.
out.
So yeah, now I given ID. Okay, server. Let's see if we do Terraform apply. It will show you. It will show you only the ID of the instances. What is the instance ID? It will show you the only instance ID only. Okay, so for instance ID, this is what it is showing. Okay, so now you can see, you can go see here. So this is the instance ID. Yeah, this is the instance ID what selected. Okay, for this instance ID, it will be showing you. It's telling that I'm going to add this instance ID as an output. Okay, I'm going to see yes, it will add in the immediately. So now you see my first instance ID is the AMI, is the ID name, and then the private IP and public IP. All these things we are having it over here. Okay, this is just a used to create show the output of this machine. Now you don't need to do apply again. Now if you want to do like later on, okay, I just did a lot of things, okay, but I want to see the output of this one. I don't need to scroll above. Now what I can do, Terraform, I can do Terraform output. It will show you kind of a what are the outputs for this machine. Okay, so if you have hundreds of machine, you don't need to go into the you don't need to log into the machine every time. So you can just do everything from here itself.